We love spending this time with you. Thank you for listening. If you would like to take your listening experience to the next level, did you know there's a way to do that, J-Bo?
I do.
Yep, you know how you do it. You go to thetjshow.com, you sign up for the TJ Show newsletter, and you get cool things dropped right into your inbox, like the TJ Show's 10 shares. We pick 10 different things, everyone on the team does it, that we think you're going to love. It's not just about our show. This is about like stuff, music we're listening to, whatever it may be.
Like life stuff.
That's just the tip of the iceberg. There's a whole lot more in there. Sign up at thetjshow.com. This is the TJ Show. J-Bo, it is Tuesday.
That it is.
Sometimes Tuesday can feel like an underwhelming day.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Monday's like, okay, I'm starting the week. Tuesday's like, meh. Wednesday's like, ooh, halfway there. Thursday and Friday, you know.
Yeah, and I'll give you one of the ways I know this, J-Bo. Have you ever heard a song about Tuesday, for Tuesday, in honor of Tuesday?
No, can't say I have.
Well, that's going to change right now.
Okay.
My friend Damien hopped in front of a microphone, and he's got a Tuesday song to share with all of us.
Let's hear it.
I'm so happy that it's Tuesday. It's my favorite day of the week. Yeah, I'm so happy that it's Tuesday. So happy I can't speak. That's why I'm singing this song. Now this part's for your dog. I'm so happy that it's it's my favorite day of the I'm so happy that it's so happy I can. This part's for your cat. I'm so happy that it's my favorite day of the I'm so happy that it's I'm so happy I can't. This part's for your possum. I'm so happy that it's I'm playing dead. Ooh, I'm so happy that it's got you again, I'm not dead. Ooh, I'm so happy that it's Tuesday.
Hey, there you go. Now Tuesday has a song.
That was great. For the dog, he kind of like sped it up. For the cat, it was a bit more mellow. Yeah, it matches their characteristic traits.
That's your cat
Apollo,
right there.
yeah.
That's your Apollo. He must be honored that he's mentioned in his song.
Very much so.
Well, listen, it's a stretch to write a song for Tuesday.
Yeah,
I
that
think
was
you did a
great.
fine job, and your animals are going to love that too. We're always talking about how we want to be a show for every living thing.
That's right.
It's not easy to do,
it's
So
not.
if you didn't like that, at least give us credit for trying to do a show for animals.
Yeah, just play dead.
Yeah, exactly. I've never seen a possum play dead, have you? They always run away from me. If I ever catch a glimpse of them, they're on the go.
Yeah.
They're not hanging around.
And as someone who likes to make a lot of animal noises, let me say, Damien, game respects game. That was quite impressive.
that was
sir.
great.
Yeah, what would you say is your standout animal sound?
I would say maybe a horse.
Let me hear it. It's pretty good. Yeah. I like that. Maybe you put that into a Wednesday song.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's tomorrow,
You can
right?
take an extra week if you want. Try to work it out. I was so surprised. I came in earlier today and I saw that our voicemail box was full. When you call our phone number, if for some reason we're either not in the room at the time or maybe it's outside the time that we're here physically, it'll go to a voicemail and you can leave a message. And you've been doing that. And so I'm going to play a few of my favorites. You ready for these?
Oh, yeah, I'm ready.
Hey, bro, this is Ian from Lenore City. Me and my wife love your channel. Keep it up. Let's party, bro.
Okay, so somebody wants to party with
Nice.
me.
Let's go.
That's cool. Do you think I'm fun to party with, though? I don't know. He might have me pinned wrong. I'm kind of boring at a party.
Or maybe he wants to get you to that party state. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's true. I do have friends who try to get me to party.
Yeah.
I'm just not good at it. I'm there and then I disappear and go off into a room by myself.
I'm not giving up on you, Tuesday.
Thank you, Kenny. Here's another voicemail that came in.
Yes, I'm Tammy Smith, and I live in Kentucky, and I hear your station. You were talking about sneezing.
Oh, yeah, it's one of the things we like to talk about quite a bit around here.
Well, I work with a coworker. When he sneezes, if you're not ready for it, it will scare the pants off of you.
You better bring a spare pair of pants to work.
All right. Well, that's all I wanted to let you know. And you have a good day. Bye.
Thank you for letting us know that. Yes, sneezes can be scary.
Yesterday, my husband Archie and I, we pulled up to a restaurant. He opens the door to get out, and he sneezes so loud that the people walking by stopped in their tracks and looked around. And he had to apologize. He's like, "I'm sorry." I'm like, "You sound like an old man. Why are you sneezing so hard?"
Well, once you discover, I think this is how it starts, and I've tried to break this down. I'm pretty sure this is correct. People who sneeze loudly, they start doing that as a joke. Because there's some dad or an uncle who does that. And so I know for my brother and me, we do that because we wanted to make fun of my dad. But now we've actually enjoyed it so much that we both sneeze loudly.
Well,
and so you got to be careful. If you're going to make fun of somebody who sneezes loudly, you're going to enjoy it, and then that's going to take over your sneezes.
Well, then you and my husband Archie are two peas in the pod because it's annoying.
Well, I'm afraid that I'm going to get hurt if I hold it in now. When I was a kid, I always used to hold it in. I'm surprised I survived it.
You could burst a blood vessel in your eye. I'm pretty sure I had one of those a couple of weeks ago. I think it was because I tried to hold in a sneeze.
Is that what that was?
I don't
think
hold
so.
anything in. Not a sneeze and not a...
Okay. Well, that's a different voicemail, J-Bo. And now here's the last one we'll play here.
Hey, guys. This is Debbie. I'm calling from Arkansas. I'm a substitute teacher, and you were just talking about telling the truth and honesty the best policy. I try and be honest in everything I do, and I ran into a parent at Sam's Club with their child who, by the way, was a challenge. Let's just put it that way.
Well, most of us kids are. I mean, I was certainly a challenge.
And they said, "Oh, how is he in class?" I said, "He's a joy." But they could tell by my face that I was exaggerating the truth. And the mother automatically starts defending him. And sometimes, and I've even said this to my students, don't tell me you can't this and you can't that. Don't argue for your limitations. Let all that go and put your nose to the grindstone and do your work. It pays off in the long run. Thanks for listening. Bye.
I wish I had Debbie when I was going to school.
That is so good.
Yeah, because I just didn't put my nose to the grindstone. Is that what she said? I was trying to do as little as possible, and I had to backtrack a lot later in life because of that choice.
Don't argue your limitations. Even as an adult, I find myself arguing my limitations.
Yeah.
That's so good.
I'm with you, J-Bo. So thank you for calling. You can reach us anytime at 302-303-1151. I was so surprised. I got a package in the mail from Omaha Steaks. They've started doing some advertising on our show, and I'm so grateful for our advertisers. But I got a message, and they were like, "Hey, we want to send you guys a package." And I thought, oh, okay. I thought it'd be one steak. They send this box, and it's filled with burgers and filet mignon. I was like, what?
Sausages, chicken, seasoned fries.
It was such a blessing, and I was so excited to bring it to my family's cookout over the weekend. And I show up, and everyone's celebrating. My father-in-law's going wild. What? You got steak? Yeah, eat some steak. It was great. He was so excited. He was raving about the seasoning. And there was one person who I wanted to interview about the experience. It was the vegetarian at the barbecue. That's my brother-in-law, Josh. Hey, Josh.
Hey, TJ. How you doing?
I wanted to ask you, who's the only vegetarian here, about your Omaha Steaks experience.
So, just to let everyone know, if you don't know this, veggie burgers, veggie chicken patties take about 30 seconds to cook. But somehow, I got my food last after every steak eater had a huge steak served individually to their specifications.
That is true. Everyone got their food.
Majority rules.
We took care of him last. Yes, Producer Heather.
As a vegetarian, I hate that too. I always get my food last.
Mine came out and then kind of rudely dropped on the plate.
What was your assessment? How did you feel people enjoyed the steak as they were eating it?
I mean, they looked delighted. They kept talking about, especially I guess there's a certain seasoning you put on.
Oh, yeah, that was the Omaha Steak seasoning.
Yeah, I've heard really good comments about that. All right. You like ketchup, don't you?
No, not on a steak.
And then he sort of just flung an insult at my wife, you eat ketchup on your steak. No, she doesn't.
Way.
Are you kidding me? We love food way too much.
That's right.
I mean, you could eat your steak however you want, but I wouldn't dare to put ketchup on mine. It's too good without it.
I was so excited to get my box from Omaha. When the UPS guy was unloading packages, I saw the cooler and I was like, can I just get that? I literally took it off the truck myself. He was like, want me to bring it in? I was like, no, I got it. Don't worry about it.
Well, the greatest thing happened because they sent it to all of us. And Kenny, he saw that you got yours, I got mine, and his didn't show up yet. And you thought for real someone stole it. And he was so upset. I could see it in his face.
I know. I've been listening to Omaha Steaks commercials on the radio since I was a little kid. I've always wanted to try it. And I was really disappointed. I thought it was stolen. Turns out it wasn't.
Yeah,
I did get my steaks. I grilled them up over the weekend. They were delicious.
Now, the thieves in your neighborhood did steal the laser pointer you ordered for your cat.
Yeah, but they gave it back.
Do you think they would have given back the steaks?
I don't think they would have given back the steaks.
There's no way. I had the burgers and they were phenomenal, so there's no way.
Yeah, it was so good. And you know what? I also want to bring this up for another reason. If you enjoy our show even a little bit, the way to help this show, because I've had that question over the years, like, oh, we love listening to the show, and what do we do? Like, how do we help you guys? The best way to help us is to support the advertisers who support our show. Omaha Steaks came on board because they're doing this awesome Father's Day thing where you could send steaks to your dad. I mean, my dad loves steak. He talks about steak all the time. Your dad, too.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
It's a great gift.
Hey, I hope you save some of that filet mignon for me.
Yeah, and it's like the easiest and the greatest dad present. And so if you go to omahasteaks.com and you use the promo code TJ when you order it, first of all, the Father's Day gift taken care of. You can jump on that early. And I think those commercials start later in the week, right? Yep. And that really helps our show, and it helps you because everyone in your family is going to be happy.
And
that
the
you
way
ordered
to
them.
your dad's heart is through his stomach, so why not get some burgers and some steaks?
And I'm just so grateful for Omaha Steaks. Thank you for supporting our show, and thank you for supporting our show by ordering Omaha Steaks. omahasteaks.com. Use the promo code TJ.
Ever notice that how you feel affects your food choices and that what you eat affects how you feel throughout the day? Well, researchers noticed it too, and now there's cutting-edge science about how food affects our emotional well-being. I'm food and science journalist Mary Beth Albright, and in my weekly podcast, Eat, You'll Feel Better, I look at practical, realistic ways to put the science of eating for emotional well-being into action. And, this is important, without lapsing into negative diet culture messages that can really ruin anyone's emotional well-being. We talk about things like how the food in your gut sends messages directly to your brain. And we also celebrate something that I personally find often missing from food health news, and that's leaning into pleasure. Because food is delicious, and it's not just about what we eat. Emotional well-being is also about how we eat. So join me every week on Eat, You'll Feel Better, where we use science to improve mood through food.
I'm Erica, 1/3 of the podcast Books and Betches, a comedy book podcast where we swear, spoil, and we talk about...
Whoa, you cannot say that in this.
What do you mean? That's like our slogan. It's our gimmick.
It is, but just say we're a very funny adult book podcast. How about we just give some examples of things we talk about?
Well, there's a lot of chaos. I'm Kristen, and with me I have...
Whopper!
No.
We talk about books, but we're not your AP Lit class.
I definitely hit on the major points.
You absolutely did not.
She did.
You talked
just
about...
not in the order you thought she would.
You talked so slowly about one thing.
A lot of sidebar conversations.
Are you denying the existence of chupacabras?
You know, Erica, yes, I am. And we don't always get the facts right. Epilogues don't belong in books. Call it chapter 1.
That's a prologue.
The second I see...
That's a prologue.
Oh, I'm talking about prologue. You can listen to new episodes of the Books and Betches podcast every Tuesday morning, anywhere you get your podcasts.
Bye-bye.
This is the TJ Show. You know, one of the things I love about you guys is that you're always at the ready. You've got your microphone on you, and if your significant other is either irritating you, or maybe you're irritating them, or maybe you just want to capture a moment, you do it. And you captured an interesting moment this past weekend as you guys were on a road trip, you and your husband Archie, J.
Yeah.
You've noticed that he says something before every road trip. Mm-hmm. And what is that?
Before every trip, every vacation we take, when I say, are you excited? Because usually I'm excited, I'm ready to go.
Yeah.
He looks at me serious, and he's like, we'll see what happens when we get there. I'm like, are you kidding me? We'll be on a plane and we're on our way. And I'm like, oh my gosh, we're going to Puerto Rico. We're going to go hang out at the beach. It's going to be awesome. Are you excited? We'll see what happens when we get there.
Yeah.
He just kills my vibe, man.
So this is something between you guys that you wish it would be different.
Yes.
So after the whole trip was done, you decided to interview him about this.
Mm-hmm.
And I think this is great. I love that you're so open and you're willing to talk about these things, not only privately, but so everyone can hear it, because you never know who's going through a similar thing, or maybe they're saying something different.
We'll see what happens. You remember saying that?
Yes, of course.
Now, you always say that before we go on a trip. Why is that? Why are you, like, pessimistic and Debbie Downer about things when we go on trips?
See, I'm going to predict what this is here. My prediction is, because Archie's in the military, he's just always in military mode. And it's like, all right, we'll see what happens when we get there. Like, there could be a chopper attack.
And
right?
Things have happened on his military trips, yes.
Where they think it's going to be nice,
right?
And then it's not.
Well, I've always waiting until I'm there. More so like the saying, don't count your chickens before it's hatched.
I think it's don't count your eggs before it's hatched.
Yeah, what you said. Just as a kid, I kind of had a lot of moments where it was just like, stuff will happen and then it will be taken away right then and there. So I learned from that, and I don't get excited about things until I'm in the moment.
Oh, that's interesting. So it's not the military. Did you know that?
I had no idea.
Really?
But I'm not surprised by that answer, because there's things that I respond to, or I respond to things in a certain way, and I think this is just the way I am. And really, it's like, no, it's not the way you are. It's how you've learned to respond to things based on things that you've experienced in the past, mainly from childhood.
Does that make you feel a little bit differently about him saying that now that you know the backstory there?
Yeah, it makes me want to have and practice grace towards him. Because I would get really annoyed with him.
How often does that happen where we're getting annoyed with our person and we don't know the root reason why they're reacting the way they are? And obviously we love our people.
Right.
And so when we realize it's because of something, like, I'll give you an example from my life. So my wife would, I don't know, like maybe at a party, she wouldn't be with me and she'd go off and like hang out with her friends.
Right.
Now, who cares, right? In most situations, you're like, well, whatever.
Right.
When I was a kid, I was so often rejected by girls, even though I don't feel that way at all. I'm so grateful to be with my wife. There was something in the wiring in my brain that made me feel kind of weird about that. And when I told her that, it totally changed the dynamic. She can still do that, and we're just on the same page. We're talking, we're communicating.
And she's probably a bit more aware. Well, she'll still go do her thing, but maybe she'll check in and be like, hey, you good, every once in a while, to make sure that you're good.
And it's weird. I hate that my brain is wired that way, but I figured it out. That's what it is.
That's right.
Nothing went wrong. It was a good trip. So will this help you be a little bit more positive and optimistic about other trips, or are you still going to have the mindset of like, we'll see what happens when you get there?
No, I think I'll still have that mindset.
What can I do to help you change that?
That's a good question. I may have to get back to you on that one.
Okay, that sounds like a question for your therapist. So you let me know once you decide. But thanks for your time.
Thank you for that, J-Bo.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm surprised this annoys you, J-Bo, because I remember there was one time in the office when you were leaving for the day, we said, J-Bo, see you tomorrow. And she goes, hopefully. And it freaked us out. It freaked all of us out.
Yep, that's right. We've all got our things.
Maybe I picked something up from my husband, Archie.
I think so.
J-Bo.
TJ.
We're getting to watch Kenny go through all these firsts with his girlfriend.
Yeah.
They just moved in together. I'm rooting for the guy.
Me too.
And I feel like you had a nice test over the weekend because you guys were traveling together.
Yeah.
Kenny just fumbled the ball, packed a whole bag, totally forgot it. So you get to your destination. How many hours in the car?
2.5 hours.
2.5 hours. You realize you don't have any of your stuff.
No.
And so, a couple that is easily irritable could get into a fight about this because now you got to waste time trying to figure out, well, how do you get your clothes? How do you get the stuff you need that you should have just had?
You have to go to the store and buy new stuff. Yeah, it's annoying.
Kenny does what any great journalist should do in a situation like this. You interview your girlfriend and you find out how she's doing. And I don't know. I'm curious to know how she responds to this, J-Bo.
Hi, baby.
Hi, Kenny.
Then just a warning, they talk to each other like they're children. Because
we talk to each other like we love each other, man.
I love my husband. I don't talk to him
never.
like that.
No, I don't talk to my wife. My wife would cringe.
Yeah.
Did you have fun with me this weekend?
Yeah, it was a great weekend.
What happened this weekend? What happened at the start of our trip?
Well, when we got to your parents' house, we may have realized that you forgot your bag of clothes.
Was she mad? Because she sounds pretty peaceful here. Was she mad at the time?
You know something? I don't think she was mad at me. I think she was a little disappointed in herself because she's a person that constantly has to check things. She wants to make sure we're very well prepared, that everything's in order. And I guess she felt like she dropped the ball on this, not me.
She wasn't taking care of her baby.
Yes.
Yeah, I understand.
We walked in and you said, "Hey, where's my clothes bag?"
Yeah, so she's laughing about it. That's a pretty good sense of humor.
So you asked her where your luggage was?
Kenny, and unfortunately, I had to do some growing up in this area too. My mom did a lot of stuff for me growing up. And I had to learn that, I have to pick up after myself.
Yeah.
Same thing applies for packing the car. You got to pack your own car. Mama and dad are not there to load up.
Pack your own stuff. You're a grown man.
I packed the bag. It was nice. It was actually like a brand new summer wardrobe that I was getting ready to unveil. And it was disappointing.
Got to follow all the way through.
You about to strut Memorial Day weekend, but you didn't strut nothing.
For his family.
Right.
He wanted to look really fly for his family.
I know, it was all brand new clothes that I just bought. My whole summer wardrobe I was ready to unveil.
And where did you wind up going to fix that problem? Did you wear the same clothes?
Well, I borrowed some clothes from Allison. As a matter of fact, this is one of her shirts.
Are you wearing your girlfriend's shirt today?
Yeah.
Okay.
And she had a nice hoodie for me. And yeah, we did go to Target to get a couple of essential items.
And thank you for loaning me your sweatshirt.
Of course, I also loaned you my t-shirt.
Usually it's girlfriends that wear their boyfriends' clothes.
That's offensive. I'm sorry, J-Bo. All right? He doesn't realize what he's saying.
I'm surprised you didn't borrow her drawers.
Am I the first boyfriend to wear his girlfriend's clothes?
I don't know if you are or not.
No.
Actually, I don't know. TJ famously wears Jess's hat.
People were making fun of me all day long because I did that.
It was a cute hat.
It's a hat.
I thought so.
Okay, well, I feel like he might wear that hat, or it might be his favorite hat, because he knows it's Jess's hat. He seems like, in a nice way, like a sentimental type. So he loves everything about his wife and all that. So, that's nice.
Can I wear your sweatshirt to work tomorrow?
Of course you can. I even washed it for you today, so you can.
No.
See, that's more his style.
Nah.
Washing his clothes for him.
I'm rooting for Kenny and I'm praying for his girlfriend.
Yeah. Well, I think that's pretty good. She was very gracious about it.
Yeah, and I love this shirt. She's never going to see it again, other than on my back.
Long weekends are great. Love getting a recharge.
Yeah.
And I love my family. I love being with my family. And then you hit a certain threshold where it seems like certain members of my family have had enough with the extra time together, which is pretty surprising. I have 3 young girls, all under the age of 10. And there were some tantrums starting to break out and some little fights and a little pushing around. But at a certain point, I realized this is not changing inside the house. And my wife taught me this trick. Sometimes you just got to leave the house and, as she says, change the scenery. And it is amazing how changing the scenery works. It's like a magic trick.
I love it.
Whether it's, going to the cafe down the street or the bakery, or in this case, kids, we're going to the office. And I took him to the radio station over the weekend, and I thought, listen, I got to hang a couple pictures, take care of a couple things. So we all get in the car, and within moments, turn the radio on, their whole mood has changed. And we get to the office, and they come into our studio, and the first question that my daughter Willa asks is, "Where does Kenny stand?" And then Noah says, "Where does J-Bo sit?" And I was like, guys, go ahead, sit at their microphones. And so Noah was on your mic and Willa was on your mic, and we actually did a little interview. Do you guys want to hear it?
Yes.
I did notice my microphone was considerably lower
me too.
than where it usually is.
So here we
Not
go.
complaining.
This was in an attempt to stop all the tantruming at home. We came here to hang out a little bit. Hello, everybody.
Hello. Willa, don't you have a message for Kenny? Kenny, I want to marry you. It's Willa.
Okay, so I'm here with all my kids. By the way, I don't know what's going on with
Why
that.
is she so forward?
It's weird, and we've talked to her. We're like, listen, Kenny is taken, first of all, and you're really little, second of all, and it's not going to work, okay? Hi, Charlie.
Hi.
Hi, Willa.
Hi.
Hi, Noah.
Hi.
Now, whose mic are you on, Willa?
I'm on Kenny's the person I want to marry.
First of all, Kenny has a girlfriend. You know that, right?
Yeah, but he didn't get married.
He's too old.
He's literally 30 years older than you.
Now, Noah, whose microphone are you on?
J-Road.
We're in here while everyone's gone on a holiday weekend.
I'm on camera guy Josh's mic.
Just so everyone knows, that was Charlie. Charlie chose yours. The reason why you guys are all here with me, do you know?
Yeah.
Were there lots of tantrums?
Yeah.
Okay, has that changed now that we've left the house and let Mama alone? She can have some peace? Yeah? And by the way, that was huge points for me.
I bet
when,
it was.
When I got them out of the house, oh, you better believe I came home and she was big smile on the face.
Yeah.
Is there anything? Is there any message you want to leave for Jabo since you're there on her microphone?
I'm telling you a message. Yo, I liked you, but I just don't want to marry you.
Okay, thank you very much. I hope there's no offense taken
No,
there.
I respect that.
She likes you but doesn't want to marry
No,
you.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
All right, now Willa, what is your message for Kenny?
I want to marry you.
Charlie, what do you want to say here as you're sitting here over the weekend? We don't want to encourage that kind of behavior, by the way.
No.
What's something that every kid could do that will make their life better?
Eat Tic Tacs.
Eat Tic Tacs?
And also mints.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, definitely mints.
Okay, great. Tic Tac and mints are apparently very popular.
The orange Tic Tacs are good.
Yeah, they love them. So mints and Tic Tacs will make your kid happy, according to my kids. And on the count of 3, say, let's have a great week. 1, 2, 3.
Let's have a great week.
All right, great job, guys. All right, so everyone's in a good mood now. We can go back home. Is that right?
Yeah.
Great. Yeah, there you go. I knew the whole day was different. We all had dinner. It was wonderful.
Hi, everybody. This is Adriana Trajani. I'm the host of You Are What You Read, a podcast about the books that built our souls. I have the privilege of interviewing luminaries of our times about the books that shaped them from childhood until now. Don't miss it. We get everybody from Sarah Jessica Parker to Kristen Hanna to Jhumpa Lahiri, Susie Essman, Rainn Wilson, Amor Tolls. You name it, they come, they talk, they share. You can join us on Instagram for more behind-the-scenes content and giveaways at You Are What You Read podcast and at Adriana Trajani. New episodes of You Are What You Read drop every Tuesday on Apple, Spotify, or any major streaming platform wherever you listen to your podcasts.
This is the TJ Show, our news. It sounds a little different around here. Kenny reads through every story he can find, and then he brings us the most interesting ones. Kenny, what's happening on the planet today?
I'd like to take a little poll of the room. Who enjoyed a hot dog over the weekend?
I was around hot dogs. I can appreciate them every once in a while, but I did not eat one.
I had
Same.
one.
I did not
no
have
hot
one.
dogs. Josh, did you have a hot dog? He had one.
Yep, had a hot dog.
Did Heather have one?
You know what? What do you want to talk to 2,000 people to do like a full poll? Just what is the story?
Well, I guess you're not alone, guys.
She's a vegetarian. It's like, no, of course. She did not have a hot dog.
According to a recent study from the National Hot Dog and Sausage Council, 7 billion hot dogs are consumed in America between Memorial Day and Labor Day. That's 818 hot dogs per second each summer.
Wow. Well, you know that food eating contest where they eat all the hot dogs?
There's a lot that day.
That messes up the stats a little bit
Yeah.
from what I hear.
It's a lot of meat.
Well, it's funny that you say that because about 38% of yearly hot dog sales take place during the summer, with 10% in July alone, which is when that hot dog eating contest
there you
is
go.
on July 4th.
I am a big sausage fan. I love a good Italian or a German
With some
sausage.
peppers?
Oh,
some red and yellow and greens and some onions?
That's
Let's
one of my.
go.
It's my mom's like signature dish. I don't know how it happened, but over the years, that's become her thing.
Put some spice to it?
Oh, it's wonderful. You got to have a spicy sausage
Oh
with
my
me.
goodness. I'm down.
They say Los Angeles is the top hot dog consuming city in terms of pounds, but New Yorkers spent the most on hot dogs last year with $111.4 million compared to LA's $91.8 million.
That's because a hot dog off on the street is like $10.
Yeah, in New York, they're particularly expensive.
What else you have, Kenny?
Planet Fitness is offering free workouts for high school students throughout the summer. Their goal is to help improve the mental and physical health in young adults while school is out.
That's wonderful. One of my biggest regrets from that age was not going to the gym. My buddy Phil was obsessed with the gym. I'm like, dude, why are you wasting your time with that? What are you doing? You're like, come on, man, come with me. And you know, the problem with Phil is that he would try to get me to lift the same weight that he's lifting just so he could dominate me.
Yeah, you're not there yet.
And I'd wind up getting hurt and then wouldn't go back to the gym, and I was doing everything all wrong. It was my own fault. It's not Phil's fault. He is
It's
who
kind
he
of
is.
his fault because he was encouraging you to do that. He played a role in that.
getting to the gym at an earlier age would have changed my life. I know that for sure.
Well, to your point, TJ, all participants will have access to free fitness training with certified fitness trainers and free workout plans geared towards high school students. So I guess you wouldn't make that mistake if you had a professional helping you out. This is open to high schoolers between 14 and 19 in the U.S. and Canada from June 1st to June 31st. It's the 4th year in a row that Planet Fitness is offering this.
Did you say June 1st to June 31st? Or you mean August 31st?
I meant August 31st. Thanks for the catch, J-Bo.
No problem.
Yeah, getting the training too, that's an incredible opportunity. I mean, that's amazing.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't know what to do in the gym until at some point in my life I said, I got to hire someone. And so thankfully I was able to hire someone to just teach me what to do in the gym. And I loved hanging out with this guy. He was like a boxer, super tough. At some point, he quit me because I was too annoying. Like, he was babysitting me at a certain point.
It's funny that you loved hanging out with him when it was a workout session.
Yeah, he was a cool guy. And, and then one day, like, just, sorry, I can't do it anymore. I'm like, what do you mean?
You weren't working.
Well, yeah, I wanted a babysitter and he wanted to be a trainer. And I was like, come on, man, babysit me.
You got fired by your personal trainer.
Yes, I did. It was unbelievable. That's hard to do. Like, for personal trainers to walk away from a client.
That is hard.
He knew my muscles, I mean, they got to a certain point, but they weren't going to go any further. It was just, he didn't want to do it anymore.
Wow. Well, it's not just about the physical health for these young people, also the mental health. There was a recent study in the Journal of American Medical Association back in April saying that physical fitness among children and adolescents may help protect against mental illnesses such as depression, anxiety, and alienation deficit hyperactivity disorder.
Kenny, what else do you have?
Mike Tyson had a medical issue on a flight over the weekend, and many were speculating that his highly anticipated boxing match with Jake Paul would be canceled. Tyson was on a flight from Miami to LA where he started feeling sick. It got to the point where they had to make the announcement, is there a doctor on board? But it turns out it was just an ulcer flare-up. So Jake Paul even commenting on this whole ordeal, saying, people love to make stuff up, but rest assured that July 20th, the bout is still a go. As he put it, nothing has changed.
Okay. My feeling when I first hear that is that it's like a strategy of war where he's getting into the mind of Jake and maybe getting him off his guard a little bit.
Yeah, who wants to hurt an old man with an ulcer?
Yeah, I don't know. It might be something to it.
Maybe there might be
Could
something
be wrong.
to it.
Or maybe he did have an ulcer flare-up.
Maybe he did. I don't know. But everyone's going to be watching that fight.
I will be watching it for sure.
What else do you have, Kenny?
This is interesting and sad. Over the weekend, 12 people were injured on a Qatar Airways flight from Doha to Dublin. And this was just days after a 73-year-old man died of a suspected heart attack. And dozens more were injured on a Singapore Airlines flight from London to Singapore. And in both of these cases, it had to do with turbulence on the aircraft.
How does that work? Is it somebody's not buckled in?
Yes, so as the weather gets warmer, there's a greater chance of what's known as clear air turbulence, or CAT, as it's referred to. This happens when there's clear air turbulence. It's usually when you're at cruising altitude. The weather looks fine, at least from regular observance, and the pilots turn off the fasten seatbelt signs. So yeah, there's greater chance of getting injured during turbulence because you may not have your seatbelt on, or you may be roaming the cabin.
I don't know how this happened, but just naturally, when they take that seatbelt sign off, I never take my seatbelt off. Like, I always keep it buckled.
Yeah, same. Only because I don't like putting it back on. You know what I mean?
Well, I'm also thinking, like, did you guys look out the window? Do you see how high up we are? Like, we should probably remain strapped in the entire time. Why? And I've never questioned the pilot about it. I just always thank him for doing a good job. But it's very sad to hear. I've been in some turbulence, and I did not know that the plane was going to make it. I mean, that's how afraid I was.
It's scary.
I'd never experienced anything like it, and it came out of nowhere.
Well, there was a recent study that concluded that clear air turbulence with severe or greater turbulence had increased over the North Atlantic by 55% from 1979 to 2020.
Kenny, what else do you have?
We're learning the story of fifth grader Dakin Kramer from Missouri, who was inspired to start a fundraiser to pay off his entire elementary school's lunch debt.
That's amazing.
Man, that kid is accomplishing my goals.
Yeah, that's super inspiring, and I wonder what he'll ultimately wind up doing. I love that he's starting now. Doesn't matter. I mean, that is a big deal, actually.
It is.
It's not even a small thing, but it's awesome news.
Well, at Dakin's request, his mom reached out to the local school board to see what the school lunch debt was. It was $3,500. And school lunch in this district costs $2.55 per student. It's reduced to 40 cents for students in need, according to the district. And with the help of his mom, he started this online fundraiser, who then shared it on her Facebook page. Dakin presented the district with a check for $7,300, more than double what the school debt was.
I love that, man.
Beautiful.
So much. That's awesome.
And better than that, Dakin recently graduated 5th grade, and at his graduation ceremony, he was presented with the Dakin Kramer Legacy Award. So he has an award now named after him. He's the first recipient, and they're going to give this award out at all 5th grade graduations going forward.
That's so impactful because there's a lot of students who maybe aren't able to graduate or schools won't let them graduate if they have a balance due for their lunches.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dakin's mom said, even though this is something that kids don't need to worry about and don't have any responsibility for, I'm very, very proud as his mom that he is mature enough to see that there's an issue. And if the people who have the power to make a change won't change anything, then he will step up and make a change.
I love it.
Yeah, keep bringing those stories in.
Absolutely.
Great news. Kenny, what else do you have?
Here's a question that's been debated for a long time. Should the United States get rid of pennies, nickels, and dimes?
Well, if they're willing to round down on everything, then I'm all for it.
Amen to that. Amen to that. The moment they round up, I'm like, nah, bring it back, bring it back.
Well, I don't
Hands
know.
up.
Yeah, nah, bring it back.
I wish that was on the table. But I guess the best way to determine this is, are people still using pennies, nickels, and dimes? And to find out, they actually have an interesting source. The TSA, the Transportation Security Administration, every year they provide Congress with a detailed report about how much money is left behind at TSA checkpoints. And according to their most recent report in 2023, travelers left almost $1 million in small change at these checkpoints, which is double the amount that was left behind in 2012.
Wow.
I need to start hanging out with TSA. Just hang out there.
Yeah. You know, I have a method to get rid of some of my change, and I'm about to do an investigation to find out if this is okay. But what I've been doing is there's a little Amish farm near where I live, within driving distance. And when I want to get rid of like a bunch of nickels and dimes, I'll count them out, throw them in a plastic bag, and just write how much money's in there. And I leave it in the little bucket. And I saw the lady go collect the bucket because, you know, they like throw little farm stands out there. I said, I got you a lot of nickels and dimes. And she said, oh, thank you.
So you just throw it in there? You don't get anything back for it?
Oh, no, I'll get strawberries or whatever the fruit is.
Gotcha.
And they seem like they're happy about it. I've even seen little signs where they're like, we need more quarters. And I'm like, all right, cool. Well, I got some.
Yeah, money's money, man.
Yeah.
I don't care.
That makes sense to me.
And also, it's like, you know, they're so nice, at least my interactions with the Amish people, that they probably wouldn't tell me if they were offended by it. But you're right, money is money.
Money's money, especially if they're selling a lot of produce, they're going to need change if people are paying with cash.
Yeah.
So that helps.
Yeah, and I'm going to experiment with pennies next.
Yeah, it's not like they're taking the horse and buggy to the bank to get quarters, you know, very often. I don't imagine it.
No, I mean, the guy that I know drives a Tesla. No, I'm kidding.
Get out!
Kenny, thank you for keeping us somewhat informed.
That's what's happening.
We got a really nice email from one of our listeners named Catherine. Can I read this to you?
Oh, yes, please.
It says, hello. I'm not sure how you ended up on one of my pre-programmed radio stations in my car, but I'm glad you did. Isn't that fun? We're just showing up on people's radios. They have no idea how we even got there. You know, this happens more often than you think because our show, which I'm very grateful for, it continues to expand across the nation. And if we just surprise, hi, how are you? We might be new on your station today. Welcome to this, and give us a chance, because what we found is when people do that, they seem to like it, right? They seem to stick around.
And if you happen to be an auto mechanic, if you could program our station into other people's cars, we appreciate that too.
That very well may be what happened here. Catherine goes on to say that I live in Connecticut. I have a commute to and from work that could be anywhere from 30 minutes to an hour or longer.
Ooh, I've been there. That is tough.
Yeah. No, I used to work in New York City.
That is
and
tough.
I would leave, and you wouldn't know, like from a 1 block length of space, it could be sitting in that 1 block for an hour or 15 minutes or 5 minutes. You just never know. Anyway, let me get back to this email. One day about 2 months ago, I heard your show on my station. I enjoy getting to know you all and love hearing your talk segments. I don't mind now if I'm stuck in traffic. Well, what a compliment to get.
Whoa, that's awesome.
Are you kidding me? Thank you, Catherine. Like my kids, I'm not sure which one of you is my favorite. Oh, it's probably J-Bo.
Nah, definitely TJ.
You all bring something different to the show. Thank you for the laughs, the random knowledge you throw out there, and all for being honest with your lives. I think that's where I connect the most. I can relate a little bit to all of you. I know this is long, but keep up the great work. Well, I mean, it's not a problem if it's long, if you're just saying all nice things.
Right. If it was hateful stuff, we want you to cut that short. Maybe one sentence.
Right.
Yeah.
Keep it to a few words and
Yes.
then go away. Or you know what? Don't even send it. No, I'm kidding. No, we like hearing all kinds of feedback. This goes on to say, I always want to call in and say hi. To say thank you for being real, but I don't have your number in my phone. Oh, we were just talking about this a few moments ago. I know, I keep giving out the phone number. She goes on to say, maybe one day I will have the phone number. Well, just do it now. Put it in your phone now.
It sounds like she listens with her kids, so while she's driving, one of her kids can put into her phone.
Yes, right. Your kids always want more screen time, right? If they're anything like my kids, they're constantly... My kids are always finding excuses to get more screen time for the most ridiculous... Dad, can I just check something? Can I check the weather? It's like, no, you just want to be on a screen. You just want something glowing. It's 302-303-1151. And I'll give it one more time, 302-303-1151. Put it in your phone because you never know when you're going to want to call in. She wraps up with saying, I will keep listening. Have a great day, Katie. Well, thank you, Katie.
Hey, Katie, thank you so much.
You know, it takes a special kind of person to take the time to encourage anyone.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I mean, it doesn't have to be just people you listen to on the radio. It could be anywhere on the planet. Like, who's actively looking to encourage people these days? They're still out there. Katie's one of them. And we really appreciate you for listening to the TJ Show. Thank you for being here. J-Bo, I missed you over the weekend. It was too many days that we were apart.
Oh, I'm so sorry you missed me.
You didn't miss me too? I was waiting. Kenny, I was waiting for I missed you too.
Yeah, I missed you, bud.
You did? I missed you? Yeah, that's cool. What'd you
missed
do?
you.
What'd you do that was so fun that you didn't miss me that much?
No, it's not that I didn't miss you. I just purposely said it. I didn't say it because I wanted to see what you were going to say.
Okay, all right, fine. Well, what did you do?
My little trick played out.
Give me a quick recap.
I road tripped. My nephew graduated from high school, and so my husband Archie and I went to go see him graduate from high school, and we just drove around and we visited a couple thrift shops, and we went in North Carolina is where we went, and it was great. It was awesome.
See, that's cool. You guys don't mind going on long road trips.
Yeah, we road trip really well together.
That is something that I have never done. Because I've been working since I was a kid. Mm-hmm. So I usually, if I'm off for a certain period of time, I don't think, I want to be in the car and drive. But recently, because of you, actually, I've been thinking through, like, where could I go and just take my wife on a drive when you're in life in this season, when there's a lot going on, whether it's, a full-time job or you've got a family or whatever. It's nice to just go somewhere and get out of town. What do you do on your road trip to not get bored in the car?
Well, a lot of the times we'll talk, we'll listen to music, we'll do sing-alongs. Sometimes we just sit in silence too. There's just a balance of that. Depends on how long the drive is.
How long was the drive for you?
It's about 9.5 hours.
Both ways?
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, see, could you do that, Kenny?
If I had something good to listen to.
So you'd need to listen to something.
I need content, yes.
Yeah, no, we listen to music for sure, and we do, like I said, sing-alongs, but sometimes we just sit in silence.
But isn't it amazing when you get into those, like you could drive for probably an hour or two, and you get into this flow of conversation, and all kinds of stuff comes out, and you start sharing your feelings, and I don't know if you get into that mode, but I am just so grateful to be in that space when I'm with my wife, Jess.
Yeah, we get into that mode for sure. My husband Archie and I, we'll talk about our feelings and life, and then the trip, and just things that, and also something else we do is we plan our next trip. So we have something to look forward to together. So my husband being in the U.S. military and us living apart, we pretty much, our lives are based on when we get back together. And so we try to plan little trips when we are back together.
I think that's beautiful. Where did you stop along the way? Like, I know you said you stopped at some thrift shops. Were there certain towns that you put on your to-do list? Like, we got to see this neighborhood, or we got to go to this city.
Well, we got tired at one point, and we thought about driving through the night. Because we'll get home at like 2 or 3 in the morning. But we were like, you know what? Let's just get some rest. Like, let's not rush it. Let's not rush to get home. So we stopped in Lynchburg, Virginia, which I've never been there before.
Oh, yeah, I've been there.
So, have you been there?
Yes.
Yeah.
There was actually a really so I was going out to interview an exorcist, and I stopped there and overnight.
Okay.
And it was,
you
if it's the same place that I'm thinking of, it was this gorgeous hotel in the middle of nowhere, and they had really high ceilings, and it was beautiful.
Well, I did not stay in the middle of nowhere. I stayed in the city.
Yeah.
But there's a university there called Liberty University, and my husband and I, we like to drive around college campuses and just check them out. So we drove around that before we left. And it's massive, first of all. It's very beautiful, but the town's really sweet.
Yeah, and I think sometimes we can scratch our heads wondering, where are we going to go on vacation? Sometimes it's just, can we get in the car? Can we drive 5 hours from here? We're going to find
You'll
something
find
cool.
something, yeah.
Because people are doing their thing, and people are beautiful everywhere.
Yeah.
I mean, I think you've been in a lot of places around the country.
Yeah,
You've seen.
I've been blessed.
We have so much more in common with our fellow people than sometimes the internet or the news, and you figure that out by just going to those places. So
Yeah.
I'm so glad you had a great weekend.
Definitely. We stopped somewhere in West Virginia at this little rest stop on the side of the road. And I ain't gonna lie, I was a little scared. I was scared when I got there. It was a little sketch. But we were surprised. A really nice woman was at the store, and she was very kind to my husband and I, and it was great.
This is the TJ Show. Well, glad to be back at the studio with you, J-Bo.
Same, TJ.
Producer Kenny, big weekend for him and his girlfriend, I would say. It's a pretty big deal. You go on a 3-hour road trip with her?
Yeah.
You guys, I mean, you've moved in together, so you're trying all kinds of new things.
Well, this was the 1-year anniversary of her ever meeting my family. It was this weekend last year when she got to meet the O'Boyle clan as we go by.
And he wants to get her used to the family things that they do. And one of the things your family likes to do is you all have an impression of your dad.
Yeah, we all can do the old man pretty well. My brother, my sister, myself, and...
Yeah, I don't know. My dad is...
Sorry, a bug's in the room. I don't know how that happened.
Yeah,
Did you bring in the bug?
Why are you apologizing?
Yeah, why did you just apologize?
I don't know. Maybe I did it.
No, stop, Kenny.
You know, that's telling about a person. There are some people that I know who, if they get off of an elevator and someone tries to get on the elevator first, when they should wait.
The courtesy is let the people off, then you get on. Yeah.
They'll apologize even though they're in the right. You kind of just did that. Like, why are you apologizing that a bug's in the room?
I don't know. I guess it was just came out of me.
You got to talk to a therapist, man.
He must upset you a lot, TJ, because he was quick. He's like, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
like, what?
No, you don't be sorry. It's fine. I don't know. What kind of bug is that? Can you capture it? And we'll let it outside.
Like a gnat.
Are you good at catching bugs?
No.
You can't use sticky tape. We want to preserve it.
I got this.
Okay, anyway, back to Kenny.
Well, I know my dad, I don't know. I don't think he minds it all that much. His famous line is,
well, you know, they say imitation is the most sincere form of flattery.
So, yeah, we all have an impression of him.
Your brother, your sister, now you're trying to get your girlfriend to do the impression too, which is crossing maybe a boundary, right? Does he want her, somebody outside the family at this point?
I don't know. I put her on the spot. We were all having a dinner the other night. And
okay, I'm curious to hear.
In front of your dad?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, this is good.
Hey, Dad. Repeat after me.
No.
What are you doing there?
Hey, what are you doing there?
Wait, I don't understand. Was that him or you?
That was my dad. That was actually my dad. That's his famous line. You could be doing anything, something completely obvious, and he'll walk by and go,
hey, what are you doing there?
That's just what he says.
Here comes everyone.
John, you say it.
Hey, what are you doing there?
That's your brother.
Yep.
Allie, you say it.
Hey, what are you doing there?
Yeah, she's not as good as your brother.
No.
Or you're the best, I would
think
say.
so. I'm next, I think.
Hey, what are you doing there?
Yeah, I think, what do you think, Kenny?
I say Kenny than his brother.
Yeah, then sorry to your, what's your sister's name again?
Allie.
Well, it's a different octave, so.
Oh, yeah. Is that confusing? Because you have Allie as a sister and Allison as your girlfriend?
It's not confusing to me.
No?
I hope not.
Yeah, hopefully they don't show up in the wrong place.
It is weird, because I did call my sister Allison more... I called her Allison more than I called her Allie, and I had to make an adjustment.
You made an adjustment.
When I met Allison, so Allie's Allie now to me.
Okay, so now here's where the girlfriend comes in, Allison.
Allison, you do it.
I cannot.
Who sounds more like Dad?
Yeah, which one of us sounds more like my dad?
Oh, you just kind of skipped over it. She said no.
She said no.
And then you changed the subject because you wanted her to not feel so uncomfortable.
Well, my sister asked who sounded most like my dad.
Dad did a pretty good job.
He did.
He was spot on.
So she's very quick because she said your dad does the best impression of him to not join in on the chop busting.
She's smart.
I guess so.
Wow, that's smooth. I like her.
Smart girl.
I don't know. I love Kenny sound the best.
Yeah, what do you got over there?
Yeah, there you go. Everyone's having a great time with Kenny's dad. Your dad like your girlfriend?
Yeah, everybody loves Allison.
And she wants to keep it that way. That's why she was like, nah, not me.
I tell you, she is just the sweetest person in the world. So everybody's
Congratulations.
A big fan.
That's good. Hey, listen, if the family endorses, that's a
I
big
like
deal.
her a lot, too.
I know. She seems great.
Yeah.
This is the TJ Show.